This visit gives me a good opportunity to renew the long-standing and warm friendship between Brunei Darussalam and the United States.
The Sultan of Brunei's harem was a spectacle of beauty and excess. Women who were privileged to live in such unimaginable wealth enjoyed a life of luxury and comfort. But then, things began to change. Whispers of scandal, cruelty, and disappearances caused the empire to crumble. Join us as we find out what really happened to the Sultan's once glorious harem. The story of the Sultan of Brunei. Brunei Darussalam, a small yet affluent nation in Southeast Asia, sits on the northern coast of Borneo. It is the island's only fully sovereign state, encircled by Malaysia's Sarawak, except for its South China Sea coastline. Despite its size, Brunei boasts a unique cultural and political identity, deeply rooted in tradition and wealth. Malay is the official language, while Islam serves as the state religion, though other faiths are acknowledged. Governed by an absolute monarchy, Brunei is ruled by the Sultan, who holds supreme authority. Its legal system blends English common law with Islamic jurisprudence, including Sharia. The capital, Bandar Seri Begawan, exemplifies the nation's opulence. The Jame' Asr Hassanil Bolkiah Mosque, with 29 golden domes, symbolizes the Sultan's reign, while Istana Nurul Iman, the Sultan's official residence, ranks among the world's largest palaces. Brunei's wealth stems primarily from its vast oil and gas reserves, fueling a high standard of living. Despite modern influences, the nation preserves its Islamic traditions and royal heritage. With its fusion of monarchy, faith, and prosperity, Brunei stands as a distinctive presence in Southeast Asia, maintaining its cultural identity while embracing economic stability and governance rooted in tradition. Hassan al-Bolkiah, the Sultan of Brunei, was born on July 15, 1946, into a royal family that had ruled for centuries. His father, Omar Ali Saifuddin III, was a respected leader who modernized the country while maintaining its traditions. As the eldest son, Hassan al-Bolkiah grew up knowing he would one day inherit the throne. He received an education that blended Islamic teachings with Western schooling, attending the prestigious Victoria Institution in Malaysia before continuing his studies at the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst in the United Kingdom. This training not only prepared him for leadership, but also instilled in him a deep sense of discipline and responsibility. In 1967, his father made a surprising decision to abdicate, stepping down from the throne and allowing Hassan al-Bolkiah to take his place. The transition happened smoothly, largely because the young prince had already been groomed for the role. At just 21 years old, he officially became the 29th Sultan of Brunei, taking on immense responsibilities. Despite his youth, he adapted quickly, carefully observing the way his father had governed. Although Omar Ali Saifuddin III had stepped down, he continued to advise his son, ensuring that Brunei remained stable. This arrangement allowed the new sultan to rule confidently while still benefiting from his father's wisdom. Hassan al-Bolkiah's reign has been defined by his careful management of Brunei's wealth, which comes primarily from vast oil and gas reserves. Under his leadership, the country has maintained a high standard of living, with citizens enjoying free healthcare, education, and various subsidies. The Sultan has prioritized keeping Brunei independent, avoiding excessive foreign influence while ensuring strong economic ties with powerful nations. He has skillfully balanced modernization with tradition, ensuring that the country's Islamic identity remains strong. One of the most significant aspects of his rule has been his firm commitment to the implementation of Islamic law. In 2014, Brunei introduced a stricter version of Sharia law, which sparked international criticism. Despite the backlash, the Sultan remained steadfast insisting that these laws were necessary to preserve Brunei's values. He has consistently emphasized the importance of religion in governance, believing that it provides moral guidance for society. Beyond politics, Hassan al-Bolkiah is known for his lavish lifestyle. As one of the world's wealthiest royals, he owns a vast collection of luxury cars, palaces, and private jets. His main residence, the Istana Nurul Iman, is the largest residential palace in the world, featuring thousands of rooms and extravagant decorations. Despite this opulence, he has always presented himself as a ruler who cares deeply for his people. Over the years, his government has faced criticism for its lack of political freedom. As Brunei does not hold elections, the country remains an absolute monarchy, where the Sultan holds ultimate authority. While some argue that this limits democracy, others believe that his rule has provided stability and prosperity, making political reforms unnecessary. His ability to maintain peace and economic security has kept Brunei free from the chaos that affects many other nations. Hassan al-Bolkiah has also played a significant role in international relations, carefully maintaining diplomatic ties with countries across the world. He has been particularly close to Malaysia, Indonesia, and other Southeast Asian nations, strengthening Brunei's position in the region. His leadership style is often described as cautious but firm, ensuring that Brunei remains a respected and independent nation. Hassan al-Bolkiah's reign has lasted for decades, making him one of the longest-serving monarchs in the world. His ability to maintain control while navigating both internal and external challenges has defined his legacy. He has ruled with a combination of strict governance, religious commitment, and economic management, ensuring that Brunei remains one of the richest countries per capita. Throughout his rule, he has consistently emphasized stability, ensuring that Brunei remains peaceful and prosperous. His government has worked tirelessly to provide for its citizens, allowing them to enjoy benefits that many in other countries can only dream of. Although the world continues to change rapidly, he has remained dedicated to preserving Brunei's traditions and values. The Sultan's attraction to multiple women was not entirely surprising, given his position as a monarch. In Brunei, the Sultan has the right to take multiple wives, a tradition that is rooted in the country's royal customs and Islamic law. As one of the wealthiest men in the world, Sultan Hassanal could attract women of immense beauty and intelligence. Let's take a look at his wives and their roles as part of the royal family. The Raja Isteri of Brunei. Pangeran Anak Saleha, born on October 7, 1946, in Kampung Sumbiling, Brunei Town, now Bandar Seri Begawan, is the esteemed Queen Consort of Brunei. Her parents, Pangeran Anak Muhammad Alam and Pangeran Anak Besar, were prominent figures in Brunei's royal lineage. From a young age, Saleha was immersed in the rich traditions and culture of her homeland. In her early years, Saleha received private tuition at the Surau of Istana Darul Hana, where she diligently studied religious teachings. She furthered her education at the Raja Isteri Girls High School, STPRI, in Brunei Town, where she was known for her keen interest in academics and her active participation in various school activities. Her commitment to learning was evident as she balanced her studies with her royal duties, showcasing a remarkable dedication to both. At the tender age of 19, on July 29, 1965, Saleha married her paternal first cousin, Crown Prince Hassan al-Bolkiah, in a grand ceremony at Istana Darul Hana. This union was not only a significant personal milestone, but also a crucial moment for the nation, as it united two prominent branches of the royal family. The marriage was celebrated with traditional ceremonies, reflecting the rich cultural heritage of Brunei. Upon her husband's ascension to the throne on October 5, 1967, Saleha became the Raja Isteri, or Queen Consort, of Brunei. Her role as the Queen Consort brought with it numerous responsibilities, which she embraced wholeheartedly. She became a symbol of grace and dignity, representing the nation on various international platforms and fostering goodwill with other countries. The royal couple has been blessed with 6 children, 4 daughters and 2 sons. Their first child, Princess Rashida Saadatul Bolkiah, was born on July 26, 1969. She has been actively involved in various charitable organizations and has represented Brunei at numerous international events. Their second daughter, Princess Mutawakila Hayatul Bolkiah, born on October 12, 1971, has also played a significant role in promoting education and cultural initiatives within the country. Their first son and the heir to the throne, Crown Prince Al-Muhtadi Billah, was born on February 17, 1974. He has been groomed from a young age to assume leadership roles and has represented Brunei in various capacities, both locally and internationally. The couple's third daughter, Princess Majida Nurul Bolkiah, born on March 16, 1976, has been involved in environmental and conservation efforts, reflecting her passion for preserving Brunei's natural heritage. Their fourth daughter, Princess Hafiza Sururul Bolkiah, was born on March 12, 1980. She has taken an active interest in social welfare programs, focusing on improving the lives of underprivileged communities in Brunei. The youngest of their children, Prince Abdul Malik, was born on June 30, 1983. He has been involved in various youth and sports initiatives, encouraging the younger generation to engage in healthy and productive activities. As a mother, Saleha has been deeply involved in the upbringing of her children, instilling in them the values of humility, respect, and service to the nation. She has been a guiding force in their lives, ensuring that they are well prepared to take on their respective roles within the royal family and the broader community. But beyond her familial duties, Queen Saleha has been an active patron of several organizations. She serves as the patron of the Brunei Darussalam Women's Council, the Brunei Shell Women Association, the Women Graduates Association, the Women's Institute, Pertiwi, Pekerti, the Girl Guides Association of Brunei Darussalam, and the Brunei Government Senior Officers' Wives Welfare Association, Bistari. Through these roles, she has championed various causes, including women's empowerment, education, and social welfare. In her leisure time, Queen Saleha enjoys engaging in traditional Bruneian games such as pasang and kongkak, as well as playing badminton. She also has a deep appreciation for nature, maintaining a fish pond, a bird park, and a fruit garden. These hobbies reflect her love for the outdoors and her commitment to preserving Brunei's natural beauty. Throughout her life, Queen Saleha has exemplified the qualities of a devoted wife, a nurturing mother, and a dedicated public figure. Her unrelenting commitment to her family and her nation has endeared her to the people of Brunei, making her a beloved and respected figure in the country's history. However, her dominance was disrupted when the Sultan took a second wife, who soon became his favorite. The Sultan of Brunei's second wife. Mariam Abdul Aziz was born around 1955 or 1956 in Brunei town, now known as Bandar Seri Begawan. She came from a diverse background, with her mother, Rashida Saleh, being Bruneian, while her father, Jimmy Bell, had Scottish and Japanese ancestry. Her father, originally named James J. Bell, converted to Islam and took the name Abdul Aziz, which later became part of Mariam's own name. She was the fourth child in her family and had a mixed heritage, being half Bruneian, a quarter English, and a quarter Japanese. She grew up in Brunei, experiencing both traditional and modern influences, which shaped her early years. Mariam received her education at Sultan Omar Ali Saifuddin College, where she studied diligently and developed a strong sense of independence. After completing her education, she worked as a flight attendant for Royal Brunei Airlines. It was during this time that she met Sultan Hassan al Bolkiah, the ruler of Brunei. Their relationship quickly grew, and in 1981 she married him, officially becoming his second wife. Her life changed drastically as she moved from an ordinary existence into the opulent world of Brunei's royal family. As the Sultan's second wife, Mariam took on several responsibilities and became actively involved in charitable activities. She attended numerous official events, always dressed elegantly and carrying herself with grace. Her presence was frequently seen at grand ceremonies, banquets, and diplomatic functions, where she represented the royal family. Throughout her marriage, she embraced her role and adapted to the expectations of being a royal consort. She also became involved in philanthropic work and contributed significantly to social causes. During her marriage to the Sultan of Brunei, Mariam had 4 children with him, namely Prince Abdul Azim, Princess Azima, Princess Fadzila, and Prince Abdul Mateen. She raised them in the royal household, ensuring they received the best education, guidance, and care. Her children grew up in the grandeur of Istana Nurul Iman, the largest residential palace in the world. Their lives were filled with luxury, privilege, and countless opportunities, but Mariam was known to be a devoted mother who nurtured them with love and attention. Life in the royal family was undoubtedly extravagant. Mariam lived in unimaginable luxury, surrounded by breathtaking palaces, priceless jewelry, and designer clothing. She traveled extensively, staying in the most prestigious hotels and experiencing the finest aspects of life. However, despite all the grandeur, she remained involved in various charitable organizations and helped those in need. One of the most significant initiatives she supported was Pusat Ihsan al-Amira al-Hajja Mariam, a non-profit organization dedicated to improving the lives of individuals with disabilities. She passionately worked to ensure that those with special needs received adequate education, rehabilitation, and opportunities to thrive in society. After more than 2 decades of marriage, Mariam's fairy tale life came to an abrupt end in 2003 when the Sultan announced their divorce. The reasons behind their separation were never fully disclosed to the public, but the divorce was highly significant. Following their split, Mariam lost all her royal titles and honors. Although she was no longer part of the royal family, she continued to be addressed as Datin Paduka Seri, a title of respect that she retained even after the divorce. Life after the divorce presented new challenges for Mariam. In 2012, she became involved in a highly publicized legal case against her former bodyguard, Fatima Kumin Lim. Mariam accused her of stealing several pieces of her valuable jewelry, which were worth millions of dollars. The High Court in London ruled in Mariam's favor, concluding that Lim had indeed sold a diamond bracelet and 2 diamonds without permission. The stolen jewelry was valued at approximately $20 million, showing the immense wealth Mariam still possessed even after her divorce. However, Mariam's life took another unexpected turn when reports emerged about her financial troubles. In 2014, it was alleged that she had received a divorce settlement of approximately £4 billion, making her one of the wealthiest women in the world. Despite this vast fortune, rumors surfaced that she had developed a gambling habit. According to reports, she frequently visited casinos in London, Singapore, and other major cities, where she allegedly lost up to £1 million a day. To cover her gambling debts, she was said to have sold several pieces of her exquisite jewelry, including rare diamonds that had been gifted to her by the Sultan. These reports painted a picture of a woman struggling to maintain her extravagant lifestyle despite possessing extraordinary wealth. Despite her financial controversies, Mariam remained focused on her children. She continued to support them and played an active role in their lives. Her son, Prince Abdul Azim, gained international attention for his involvement in the entertainment industry and his charitable efforts. He was known for his support of young artists and people with disabilities. Tragically, he passed away in 2020 at the age of 38 due to a long-term illness. Her other children, Princess Azima, Princess Fadzila, and Prince Abdul Mateen, continued their royal duties and personal endeavors. Prince Abdul Mateen, in particular, became one of the most popular figures in Brunei, often recognized for his athletic achievements, military service, and bold presence on social media. Mariam, although no longer in the public eye as frequently, remained a significant figure in their lives, supporting them in their respective paths. Mariam Abdulaziz's life journey is one of extreme contrasts. She experienced the heights of royal privilege, lived in extravagant wealth, and participated in prestigious events, only to later face personal and financial struggles. Her story is a compelling reflection of the complexities of life in royalty, demonstrating that even those who live in immense luxury are not immune to challenges and hardships. From a flight attendant to a royal figure and later a controversial socialite, Mariam's life has been filled with dramatic twists and turns. Her journey shows how life can change in an instant, no matter how privileged one may be. Mariam remains a woman whose story is both thrilling and cautionary, proving that even the most glamorous lives come with their own burdens. Interestingly, the Sultan had another wife who suffered a similar fate. The Sultan of Brunei's third wife. Azrinaz Majar Hakim was once a well-known figure in Southeast Asia, especially after her marriage to Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah of Brunei. Born in Malaysia in 1979, she had a career as a journalist and television presenter before stepping into royal life. She worked with TV3, a major Malaysian television network, and became recognized for her professionalism and charm. Her career in the media industry allowed her to gain experience in broadcasting, where she confidently presented news and interviews. She handled her role as a journalist with dedication, working diligently to build her reputation. Her life changed dramatically in 2005 when she married the Sultan of Brunei, one of the richest monarchs in the world. The wedding was kept private, with only close family and select guests attending. This union immediately turned her into a member of one of the most powerful royal families in Asia. Marrying a sultan meant she had to adjust to an entirely different world, filled with customs, traditions, and responsibilities. She quickly embraced her new status, adapting gracefully to the luxurious and highly structured life of Brunei's royal court. As the Sultan's third wife, she was expected to maintain a dignified and respectful presence in the royal household. Her lifestyle changed enormously as she was now surrounded by incredible wealth. She had access to the finest things in the world, from designer clothing to private jets. Every aspect of her life was now linked to the royal family, and she carried herself with elegance, understanding the importance of her role. Over time, she became a mother, giving birth to 2 children with the Sultan. In 2006, she welcomed a son, Pangeran Muda Abdul Wakil, followed by a daughter, Pangeran Anak Puteri Amira Wadatul Bolkiah, in 2008. Becoming a mother deepened her connection to the royal family, as her children were now part of Brunei's royal lineage. She focused on raising them within the traditions of the palace, ensuring they were given the best possible upbringing. For several years, she lived as a royal wife, maintaining a private but dignified life. However, in 2010, her marriage to the Sultan came to an unexpected end. The official announcement of their divorce was made through Brunei's state television, which declared that all her royal titles and privileges had been revoked. This news came as a shock to many, as royal marriages often carry an expectation of permanence. The divorce was carried out under Islamic law, with the Sultan invoking talaq, an irrevocable form of divorce that left no room for reconciliation. The announcement was made through an official royal statement in which the Sultan described the separation as a mutual decision, emphasizing that it had been handled with dignity. It marked the end of their 5-year union, which had been closely followed by the media since their wedding. The reasons for the divorce were not publicly discussed in detail, but it was clear that her time as a member of Brunei's royal family had come to an abrupt conclusion. Losing her royal status meant she had to return to a more private life, away from the extravagant surroundings she had become accustomed to. It was undoubtedly a significant transition, as she had to adjust once again to a different reality. After years of living as a royal, she now had to redefine her identity outside of the palace. However, she handled the situation with quiet dignity, choosing not to engage in public discussions about the divorce. She moved forward, focusing on her own life and finding new ways to rebuild her future. Even after her divorce, Azrinaz remained a figure of interest. People were curious about how she would move on after leaving such a unique and privileged existence. After her divorce, she made the life-altering decision to return to her home country, Malaysia, where she hoped to rebuild her life from the ground up. Initially, Azrinaz maintained a low profile, carefully avoiding the spotlight as she focused on rediscovering herself, both personally and professionally. It was a time of reflection, healing, and quiet determination to start anew. Over time, she gradually stepped back into public life, re-establishing her presence in Malaysia. She continued to live a comfortable life, but without the royal status she once held. She became involved in social events, occasionally making appearances that drew attention. Her ability to transition from a royal existence back to a more independent life was seen as admirable. She eventually remarried in 2018, choosing a new path that reflected her personal growth and resilience. Her new marriage was a fresh start, giving her another chance to live life on her own terms. While she no longer had the title of a royal wife, she remained a strong and independent woman who had experienced both the highest levels of luxury and the challenges of change. She continued to carry herself with elegance, showing that she could move forward without dwelling on the past. Azrinaz's journey from a journalist to a royal and then back to an ordinary life was remarkable. She had experienced immense privilege but also faced significant changes. Through it all, she remained composed, never allowing public scrutiny to define her. Her story demonstrated that life can take unexpected turns, but strength and determination can help in overcoming challenges. Though she is no longer connected to the Brunei royal family, she will always be remembered for her time as part of one of the world's most prestigious monarchies. Her life, filled with dramatic changes, proved that adaptability and resilience are essential. She gracefully navigated every phase, showing that personal strength is more valuable than any title. But before then, the Sultan's secret was gradually coming to light. The Harem of the Sultan of Brunei. By the late 1990s, people around the world started to hear rumors about the extravagant and secretive lifestyle of the Sultan of Brunei. Whispers spread about his private harem, where around 50 concubines were said to be kept for his personal pleasure. Among the women trapped in this hidden world was a surprising name, Shannon Marketic, a former Miss America. After winning her prestigious title, Shannon received an unexpected and extremely tempting offer. Her story would eventually bring shocking details to light about the Sultan's hidden life, exposing disturbing secrets about what really happened behind closed doors. The amount of money promised to her was massive. She would be paid $3,000 every single day. At first, the deal might have seemed luxurious, perhaps even glamorous, but the reality turned out to be something entirely different. Instead of enjoying a privileged lifestyle, she found herself unwillingly transformed into a prisoner, forced into a world of wealth, power, and complete submission. During the long nights, she was repeatedly made to perform without clothes at exclusive, highly secretive parties attended by the elite. It was not simply entertainment. These gatherings blurred the lines between luxury and cruelty. She was eventually pushed into an even darker path, forced into the role of an elite escort. Every moment was controlled, every action dictated, and any attempt to resist was ignored. With immense difficulty and careful planning, Shannon finally managed to escape Brunei, breaking free from the grip of the Sultan's inner circle. Determined to fight back against the injustice she had suffered, she took legal action, filing a lawsuit against the Sultan. She demanded a staggering $90 million in compensation for the exploitation and torment she had endured. However, her case faced insurmountable obstacles. Hassan al-Bolkiah, as a head of state was protected by diplomatic immunity. No legal challenge could reach him, and her fight for justice was ultimately futile. Despite this, her revelations caused an international sensation, forcing more eyes onto the secretive world of Brunei's ruling class. A few years later, another scandal broke out, once again pulling back the curtain on the Sultan's extravagant and immoral lifestyle. This time, an American woman named Gillian Lauren came forward, revealing her own shocking experiences inside the infamous harem. She published a book in which she detailed the disturbing reality of her time in Brunei. According to her account, she was not just part of the Sultan's harem, but also had encounters with his brother, Prince Geoffrey. The prince was even more infamous for his excessive lifestyle and extreme indulgences. Most of the women trapped in their world were young Thai and Filipino girls, some barely 15 years old. These concubines lived in an endless cycle of alcohol-fueled parties, frequently taken out on Geoffrey's extravagant 46-meter yacht, which he brazenly named Tits. Geoffrey Bolkiah became notorious for his uncontrolled desires, gaining a global reputation as one of the most reckless playboys in modern history. His lavish lifestyle came at a heavy cost, not just to the people involved, but also to the country itself. His endless spending was so extreme that he reportedly drained nearly half of Brunei's national treasury. This caused enormous problems for his older brother, the Sultan, who was eventually forced to take legal action against him. For a decade, the two brothers were locked in a battle over the stolen wealth. In the end, they reached an agreement, but Geoffrey had to part with much of his property to compensate for his reckless actions. Hassan al-Bolkiah himself was known for his strict and often harsh rule over Brunei. In 2019, he made a drastic and highly controversial move, introducing the death penalty under Sharia law for both adultery and same-sex relationships. This decision sparked global outrage, drawing strong reactions from celebrities and activists around the world. Famous figures like Elton John and George Clooney called for an international boycott of hotels owned by the Sultan. The backlash was overwhelming, and the pressure became too intense to ignore. Eventually, the Sultan was forced to withdraw the punishment, though the scandal left his reputation badly damaged. Many began referring to him as an international outcast, a ruler whose actions had alienated him from the modern world. Despite his public push for strict religious laws, the Sultan's actions repeatedly contradicted the values he imposed on his people. Over the decades, he had built a reputation as a man of excess, power, and untouchable privilege. Now, as he reaches the age of 77, his life has come full circle. Decades have passed since he first took the throne, and the world that once surrounded him has changed significantly. The scandals that once followed him so closely have faded, and the headlines now focus more on his political decisions than on his personal indulgences. The only woman who has remained by his side through it all is his first love, Anak Saleha. She has endured years of betrayal, tolerated every act of infidelity, and remained loyal despite everything. With time, even the most relentless playboys must face the reality of age and consequence. The man who once ruled with absolute power now finds himself retreating into the past. His reign continues, but the world no longer looks at him the same way. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.